There is no I in team, but there is an IT in the incident response team. Welcome to another in our data breach series, and today we're going to speak about the incident response team. Who are they? What are their roles? So let's take this through. The first thing you would want to do in respect of your incident response team is to distinguish between what you might describe as the core team and then the ancillary team that you draw in for specific tasks when things happen. You also distinguish between what their roles are in respect of incident response planning or training and what their roles are when an incident happens. Now, in this particular video, we're only going to look at how they actually operate when an incident happens. So let's look at that core team. The first is the IT or the information security team. Now, they are going to be looking at the downstream issues arising from the incident response. And the reason I say it in this way is that one of the most important things about the IT or the information security team that is handling a breach is that they need to be able to focus upon that. So you will usually separate out downstream management of the issues, which is an information security issue, from upstream management of public relations and outward responses to clients, customers, and regulators. You need to distinguish between those and separate them out as best you can, because the containment and the restoration of the IT system cannot be distracted from what needs to happen in respect of reporting and regulation and other types of issues. There is a link between those, and there's a way of having that link without it being a constant distraction. So for the IT or the information security team, their main role is going to focus upon containing the breach, restoring what they can in terms of anything that has been lost and can be retrieved, or mitigating the effects of what has been irretrievably lost. And doing so in a way where the forensic evidence of the steps that they're taking is kept secure so that a further investigation can be conducted as matters progress. That is their primary, almost their sole focus. You will find that if in a properly resourced information security response, that there will be almost like a war room where they will set themselves up in order to manage what they need to do, and that they will have separate systems that aren't reliant upon the systems that are under attack in order to be able to do what they can in those circumstances. Another core team member is, of course, the legal team and the legal department. Now, this may be a combination of internal legal and external legal. In fact, external legal should be involved at a very early stage, because that can add the benefit of protecting communications with the benefit of legal professional privilege. Now, the primary role of legal is, of course, to advise on the legal requirements. And one of the core legal requirements in a breach situation is whether or not breach notifications need to be made, who they need to be made to, and what those notifications should contain. That will be a primary focus for the legal team from the outset of being notified. Once that is underway, they will also check in and ensure with the information security team to ensure that communications and records are being kept for further review later on, because you do not want evidence to be lost, destroyed, or tampered with. Another core function of the legal team is to review contracts to see what are the consequences in respect of core contracts that the organization has, either in terms of notification requirements or potential rights of other parties to terminate contracts and to claim for damages, and generally to try and assess legal exposures and to manage and mitigate potential legal liability. The third core team member will be the public relations group that you have engaged in order to help with the public response to a data breach. And of course, in the selection of the public relations consultants that you use, you need to focus not only on their experience in crisis situations, but their experience in crisis situations involving data breaches, so that they're aware of the particular tensions that are involved and the particular priorities that are involved. So they also respond in a way that is aligned to the culture of the organization and to principles of accountability and transparency. These are the core team members, but of course there are other members who are very important and critical to the team and need to be pulled in order to perform specific functions. So let's look at some of those. HR. There needs to be a good, calming, and consistent message to employees so that they're aware of what's happening, but not in a way that's alarming, and not in a way that is in some way obfuscating or disguising the scale or impact of whatever incident may be occurring. But they need to be informed so that they need to be able to respond and play their role in the incident response. The CEO is one of the most important people in an incident breach response, because it is the CEO who is going to take the lead in respect of particular critical public announcements like press releases and press interviews and so forth, and also in respect of mandatory breach reporting to regulators. So the CEO needs to be briefed, he needs to be fully aligned, and he needs to show leadership in that situation, which is aligned to the brand reputation and culture of the organization. You'll also need to engage with finance, because finance needs to be briefed and prepared in order to promptly release resources to meet what is needed in the incident response. And all of this needs to be organized within senior management. Ideally, there should be a person who is known beforehand, who takes the lead, steps forward, and takes responsibility of the coordination of the incident response team, and makes sure that each is reminded of their role and work systematically and transparently and supportively of each other through a very difficult crisis situation. And that is the incident response team. It doesn't happen by itself. It comes together, like all good plans, through effort and training beforehand. But if you have those key components in place from the outset, properly trained, properly resourced, when an incident happens, those people will be primed to be able to respond in a way that will make your organization proud.